How's it going, guys? Alex here. Welcome back to another SSR Analysis video, and today we are going to be taking a look at the Dokkan Awakenings for the new Super Saiyan Bardocks, of course. Well, not new exactly, but of course I did get a Dokkan Awakening, so I am going to go ahead and take a look at them. And as always, I hope you guys are having a great day, and if you are enjoying what you are seeing today, consider hitting that subscribe button. But let's go ahead and get straight into it with the STR Super Saiyan 2 Bardock. Yes, he now Dokkan Awakens from a Super Saiyan to Super Saiyan 2, and I believe he's the only Bardock that actually does that so far. So his leader skill gives a 2 key boost and a 30% stat boost to all types, though he is a rainbow lead. I think Zamasu has the exact same leader skill. I think it may be 2 key and a 20% stat boost. I could be wrong. His passive gives a 30% attack boost to all allies when HP is 30% or above. So he still has that restriction, but it's not too much of a problem, especially on a mono STR team. His super attack is Final Spirit Cannon, and he causes supreme damage and raises his own attack for 6 turns. So over time he's obviously going to hit harder and harder, but if I'm not mistaken, he is actually the weakest of the three before that super attack mechanic kicks in. I believe that the physical type hits for around 9 to 10k harder before like all the passives and stuff like that. But even with the STR type's passive active, I still think that the physical hits harder because he has a 12 key multiplier of 140%, and obviously he still gets a 20% attack boost. And of course he still has links like the First Awaken, which provide him with an additional 25% attack. So depends on the setup that you are running. Either one can hit harder, but again, if you are running a double Super Saiyan 4 Goku lead with STR Super Saiyan 2 Bardock, you most likely won't have the chance to raise your super attack to the point where it's obviously higher than the others. But it's not to say that he isn't good. He is obviously still a very good unit. And if we go ahead and move on to his links, he has Golden Warrior, Super Saiyan, Family Ties, Bardock Team, Saiyan Pride, Ready for War, and Super Fierce Battle. So unfortunately they didn't give him the First Awakened link. To be fair, I think that at the time of his release that link wasn't even like available. So if I'm not mistaken, the first unit to have that link was STR Super Saiyan God Goku and Physical Super Saiyan Bardock. So it makes sense that he doesn't have it, but they could have given him that link with his Dokkan, and that would have helped him pair up with STR Super Saiyan God Goku nicely, because obviously he has it as well, and that would have been an additional 25% attack boost just instantly added to both of them. But unfortunately that's not the case. But he is still a very good unit. If you don't have any good leads, then his leader skill is obviously good. That is what they are doing with the units that they have been releasing recently. They are giving that key boost and the 30% stat boost just in case, well, any stat boost, just in case you don't have any of the other leads, because any leader skill nowadays that doesn't provide a stat boost is pretty damn bad. His passive skill is very good. His restriction has been lowered to 30%, which honestly isn't that much of a problem because STR is just one insane team and it can just take out any team, well, almost instantly. It depends on the setup that you have. That 30% attack boost to all allies is a good replacement for the STR Super Saiyan 3 GT Goku if you do not have him. Granted, Goku doesn't have a restriction, but this is still good nonetheless. He can raise his own super attack for 6 turns, which again is good. I believe that his super attack modified before, so the fact that they raised it to Supreme is very nice, and overall his links fit perfectly on a mono STR team because the majority of the units in that team do have Ready for War / Prepare for Battle. And I forgot to mention this, but unfortunately he does not seal super attacks, and that is pretty big for some people. Honestly, it doesn't matter too much on a mono STR team, but that is one thing that is common about the Bardocks that have been released recently. So you have the physical who seal super attacks, you have the tech who seal super attacks. So I'm kind of surprised that they didn't give it to him with this Dokkan Awakening. Instead they decided to give him an attack boost that obviously rises for 6 turns. So interesting decision. But now let's go ahead and move on to the physical, who was actually my very first Super Saiyan Bardock, so I'm interested to see what they've done to this one. His leader skill gives a 2 key boost and a 20% stat boost to all types, so instead of giving the 30% that the STR type does, he only gives 20. It's still pretty good, but obviously not as good as the STR type. His passive skill gives 2 key to all types, as well as a 20% attack boost to all allies when HP is 30% or above. His super attack is the Ozaru super attack that punches them around, of course. Supreme damage, seal super attack, Link, Super Saiyan, Family Ties, Bardock Team, Saiyan Pride, Ready for War, the First Awaken, and Super Fierce Battle. So again, you have that First Awaken link straight away. Unfortunately, there isn't a good physical Super Saiyan God Goku, so that is where that link can become irrelevant with the Bardock. He does have it, don't get me wrong, so if you were to run a hero team, you can still boost the attack of both units, but you're most likely not going to have both on that team unless you don't have too many good hero type units, but the point still stands. If in the future they decide to Dokkan Awaken the farmable physical Super Saiyan God Goku, they could potentially give him that link, and then if you decide to run that Goku, who could potentially be a decent support unit on a monophysical team, you can pair the two up together maybe. So I would say that at the moment on a physical team that link is kind of irrelevant, but he does have it. He has Prepared for Battle, of course, Fierce Battle. He pretty much has all the standard Saiyan links and of course Bardock links. But I am going to be completely honest with you guys, I'm kind of disappointed. They didn't add too much to this Bardock at all. He kept the 2 ki boost. I mean, he did get the 20% attack to all allies, and they lowered the restriction, but here's the thing. That restriction is just so irrelevant now that, like, what's even the point? You have the double cooler lead, so if you were to run Bardock on that team, it wouldn't even matter because you're never going to go below that restriction, so they could have just gotten rid of it altogether. I mean, that 20% attack boost is nice, but here's the thing. You're most likely not going to be running Bardock on that team unless you only have a Broly lead and you obviously want to use a cooler friend. And the fact that there are already better units that provide that attack boost, thanks to Gohan and of course Super Buu, that attack boost can be sort of irrelevant. But again, it does depend on your box. All of this is situational. Nowadays, I try to talk about every possible scenario. So say you have a ton of great units on a monophysical team, you don't need Bardock. If you're just starting off, say you pull Physical Cooler and you don't have that many good extreme type villains, then he is a good option. He will always be a good option if you don't have that many great units because he seals super attacks, he provides that ki boost, and of course he gives that attack boost. So if you don't have units like Super Buu, if you don't have units like Gohan, if you don't have Super Saiyan Gotenks, if you don't have that many good units that link up together, then yes, he is a great unit. But on an optimal villain extreme team, villain physical team, he wouldn't obviously get on there because he just doesn't provide something that the team needs. I mean, the sealing super attacks is useful if you don't have that many great units, but on the optimal extreme physical team, he just isn't that great. It's not to say that he isn't good. He'll be very good on a hero team, of course, if you don't have Super Saiyan Gotenks or another sealer like TEQ Super SSJ Bardock. But what I will say is, when the physical super lead does come out, he is going to be a very, very good unit. One, he is going to get a bigger boost from that leader skill. You can seal super attacks, and that boost that he gives is very good if you don't have Gohan. He provides that ki boost if you want to run a specific pair of units. You may even want to run a cooler unit in that super team just for that additional attack boost if you don't have that many hard-hitting units. And keep in mind that some of the units in the physical group don't share too many links. For example, you have a lot of good units with that shocking speed link, like Ultimate Gohan. So Bardock's passive in that situation would be very good if you want to link certain units together, like maybe Vegito Blue and Ultimate Gohan. Granted, you have other units that can link gaps between units like Super Saiyan 2 Great Saiyan Man, but again, Bardock is consistently going to be doing that because that restriction really isn't that much of a problem, and it wouldn't be on that team. And to be honest, it's not his fault. The thing that drags him down the most is the fact that his respective lead isn't out. Of course, when they release the mono hero physical lead, he is going to be in that team, especially if you don't have a sealer. But for now, he just doesn't have a spot on that physical team unless you need a sealer. But let's move on to the TEQ Super SSJ Bardock. His leader skill gives 3 ki and a 70% HP and defensive boost to agility and tech type. So his leader skill is drastically different from the previous 2 Bardocks. Instead of giving 2 ki, he of course gives 3 ki. And he gives a 70% HP and defensive boost. So he doesn't give that attack boost, and it's only for agility and tech type. So if you want to run a hybrid, maybe this is a decent leader skill. His passive changes STR orbs to tech orbs, and he also gets a 40% attack boost. His super attack is of course the same as the previous Bardock. He seals super attacks and causes supreme damage. His links are Golden Warrior, Super Saiyan, Family Ties, the First Awakened, Saiyan's Pride, Ready for War, and Super Fierce Battle. So he does have the First Awakened link, and if Tech God Goku ever comes, he will surely have that link, and that would be amazing because that's already an additional 25% attack boost. If I'm not mistaken, the War of the Saiyan is the link that the Super Saiyan 4s have, and this Bardock would essentially be the equivalent to that Super Saiyan 3 GT Goku. Like, he'd be his partner in a way. And of course, he does share this link with LR Goku, but unless you went through the grind, you'll most likely not have him, of course, unless you modded or something. But LR Goku and Bardock are definitely one of the best partnerships in the game, just simply because that Bardock not only shares the First Awakened link with that Goku, and the Super Saiyan link of course, but he also changes enough tech orbs for Goku to get his 18 ki super attack off every time. That is why people tend to pair up Bardock with LR Goku, so that he can obviously get that attack boost and just get that 18 ki super attack a lot of the time. And to be honest, the Bardock does hit pretty damn hard himself, and of course when he is linked up with Goku, he is going to be hitting even harder. I said this before, this is one of the things that the physical type doesn't currently have. He doesn't have a partner with that first awakened link, and even if he did have one at the moment, I don't think he would be that relevant. And again, that does come down to the leads, and then of course you have the STR type. He doesn't even have the link at all, and if he did have it, he would have the perfect partner in Super Saiyan God Goku. But if we now move on to the final part of the video, so to me this was a tough one because they both have their strengths and weaknesses. And of course there are certain things that can affect their relevance, but overall I do feel like the physical type is better than the STR type. But because the STR type does have his own lead, it just makes him way more relevant. So for the moment I will say that the STR type is better because he is way more relevant, but it's not to say that the physical type isn't good. He just doesn't really have that much of a use currently, but who knows, in the future he may have a bigger use in that team. But we have yet to see what the hero physical lead does. He could seal super attacks himself, thus making him the worst Bardock here because you don't need two sealers in the team. And I will say one more thing before I leave. It honestly does come down to what's in your box as well. The physical type can seal super attacks, he provides that key boost, he provides that attack boost, his restriction isn't too much of a problem, so overall he does seem like a good unit. And then of course you have the STR type, who should hit harder than the physical type. He is a very good replacement for the Super Saiyan 3 GT Goku. He doesn't seal super attacks, but as I said before, that isn't necessarily needed on an STR team unless you don't have too many great units. So I will say it again, it comes down to your box, but in terms of usefulness at the moment, the STR type is better. But of course, in first place, we have the TEQ Super Saiyan Bardock. He is just a great unit overall. He can seal super attacks, he changes orbs, he has a great partner in LR Goku, he provides plenty of orbs for LR Goku, he can hit hard himself, and he is just a great unit overall. And I am going to say this real quick, even with the addition of the TEQ Super Saiyan 3 Goku, TEQ is more of an attack group than anything. So having a sealer like Bardock that allows you to take more hits is definitely going to be very useful on a team that can't tank as well as some of the other teams. But that is it guys, I hope you all enjoyed it, and if you did, then not forget to leave a like and subscribe for more content. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Do you agree with what I said? Do you not agree? Let me know. I hope you guys manage to pull what you want later on, but I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you all in the next one.